Hey up guys! So today on the channel, the movie that I want to talk about and review is the directorial debut of Darius Marder, Sound of Metal. I have been dying to see this film for months. For some reason, Sound of Metal still isn't available on Amazon Prime in the UK. It's available on Amazon Prime pretty much everywhere else in the world, but not the UK. Rude. So yeah, I feel like I'm the last film vlogger in the world to actually see and review Sound of Metal. I was hearing amazing things about this film, particularly the performances from Riz Ahmed, Olivia Cooke, and Raci. So I was over the moon when I finally got a screener of it last week. Does it live up to the hype? Well, keep watching my review to find out. But before we continue, if you guys could help my channel out by hitting that thumbs up button and leaving me your thoughts on Sound of Metal in that comment section down below. Love to hear from you guys. Sound of Metal is an absorbing, intimate drama about a guy named Ruben, played in this film by Riz Ahmed, who is one half of this heavy metal duo with his girlfriend Lou, who's played by Olivia Cooke. And Riz, fuck, what's the name? Riz Ahmed plays Ruben. God, you know what's throwing me off is that his girlfriend's called Lou, and Lou is the name of the character that Jake Gyllenhaal plays in Nightcrawler, which is the film I know Riz Ahmed best for, so I'm getting some wires crossed in my brain. It's also Monday, I'm a little bit tired. Anyway, like I was saying, Ruben and Lou are part of this heavy metal duo. She's the singer and he is the drummer. And one day, almost out of the blue, Ruben's hearing starts to become muffled and distorted, and as it turns out, he is going deaf. And obviously with him being a drummer, music is his passion and livelihood, so Ruben is desperate to try and fix this problem. So Ruben joins a deaf community, which is led by a chap called Joe, played by Raci, and it's here where Ruben learns that deafness isn't something that he needs to fix, merely something that he needs to adapt to. Which is a really positive and progressive way of looking at an invisible disability like deafness, so already the film gets points for presenting something that not everybody understands in a really positive light. Riz Ahmed is straight up fantastic as Ruben, by far and away the best performance I've ever seen of his so far. Granted, the role does give him a lot to work with. A musician losing his ability to hear, there's a sense of tragic irony in that. Plus, he's a former heroin addict and in a codependent relationship with Lou, so when he joins the deaf community, you can see his resistance to change. The Academy loves a conquering adversity story, so I can definitely see Riz Ahmed landing his first ever Oscar nomination for this, and deservedly so. And Raci, he's one of those actors who I've seen in small parts in things like Parks and Rec and Scrubs, but this is a really meaty breakthrough performance for him, and he delivers an incredibly understated and sensitive performance as Joe. He's a mentor figure to Ruben, and he's very calm, collected. He pretty much speaks in the same register for the entirety of this film, but it's a quietly captivating performance. It's not showy acting, it's very measured acting. Olivia Cooke is almost unrecognizable as Lou. I forgot that she was in this film, and it turns out bleaching your eyebrows does a lot to change your appearance, so it took me a second to realize it was her. But she's terrific in this film. I feel like Riz Ahmed and Raci are getting most of the awards discussion, but she deserves to be in the conversation as well, because she adds a lot of weight to what could have been a very stereotypical, self-harming, heavy metal chick. It's a very texturized performance from Olivia Cooke, and just watching her reacting to seeing her boyfriend losing his hearing also is quite emotional. She does a lot with her eyes. And I also have to praise the sound department. When you're telling a story that's from the point of view of somebody losing their hearing, what you hear and don't hear is very critical to that sense of immersion, of feeling what the character is feeling, and that is exactly how I felt watching Sound of Metal. I felt immersed. I felt like I was walking a mile in Ruben's shoes. Darius Marder puts a lot of emphasis on sound in the opening scenes of the film. Lou and Ruben live in this van, and something as simple as watching Ruben do his morning routine, push-ups, having a shower, making a smoothie, all those sounds like deep breathing, trickling water, and the whirring of a blender, they're sounds that he takes for granted, but you, the audience, really do pick up on them, because later on in the film, the same morning routine occurs, but at this point, Ruben's going deaf. So when you don't hear those sounds, it's a little bit scary. You feel that sense of fear as Ruben starts to lose his hearing. It's very empathetic. You know how in Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity, you couldn't hear any sound even when there was like explosions going off because sound can't exist in the vacuum of space, but you could still pick up on the vibrations through Sandra Bullock's spacesuit? Well, it's kind of a similar experience in Sound of Metal. Later on in the deaf community, when Ruben is learning sign language, we often hear sound through his perspective. There's a scene on this playground where Ruben's with this kid and they're communicating through banging on this slide, and you really do feel the vibrations and reverberations through the slide. It's seriously impressive. I actually think this is going to win Best Sound at this year's Oscars. It's that effective. As for negatives, the script does hit all the beats you expect it to hit. You can tell where the film is going whilst you're watching it, but a little predictability is forgivable when the execution is this pristine. Time to ask those 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, Sound of Metal is a seriously impressive first film debut from Darius Marder with solid performances all around. Plus, I love that it presents the deaf community in such a positive light, but without being sappy or saccharine. It's all too easy to do a film about the deaf community in a way that's distasteful or kind of outdated, but Darius Marder's grasp on his subject is spot on. There's real nuance in the characters and the story. So you best believe I'll be watching it again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes, there's something special about Sound of Metal because it allows you to empathize with the deaf community and Ruben in a tangible way. Not a lot of films have a unique selling point like that, so it is kind of a rare gem. And question number 3, what score do I give it out of 10? Although the story and structure are a bit too familiar, Sound of Metal is still a very effective film, so I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of Sound of Metal? Do you think it's going to get any Oscars? Whatever you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do help me out by hitting that thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe, and if you want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.